So, welcome, guys. This is Charlese, and this is Charlese Presents. And I want to thank you guys for joining us again this evening. I have with me a really good friend of mine. His name is Aaron, and he is one of the essential employees that we'll be speaking with this month. As I made you guys aware on the various platforms that we have, that was our goal for this month, was to definitely recognize those guys that have been on the front line from day one, since the COVID has become a part of our everyday life now, and not a lot has been able to change or stop for many of us. And one of those people is Aaron. So we definitely want to tip our hats to him, and we want to say thank you to him as well as to the other employees that he works with, and all of those people that are not doctors and nurses, those ones that we normally think about when we think about this pandemic. So, Aaron, are you there?
I'm here. I'm listening.
All righty, awesome. So, Aaron, if you can feel free if you want to let us know where you work and what you do. If not, definitely understand. But if you're comfortable with that, you can go right ahead.
I work at Walmart. I'm not gonna say which location, but
Okay,
I am a courtesy associate. You know,
awesome, awesome.
I push carriages. I help people, with their groceries or packages or whatever they buy. And I do some other stuff in there as well. I usually do maintenance work if they need me to, like, clean bathrooms. Ugh.
That's kind of hazard in itself right there. That itself is a pandemic. I've seen some of those Walmart bathrooms. So has there been, so in your position, just like in mine and many others, this pandemic hasn't stopped anything for you. You're still going to work.
Yeah, I have. I mean, the only thing Walmart has actually done a few times is give a bonus, and that's really pretty much it.
Oh wow. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So are you, so you guys are, well, and I've been hearing a lot of people, there are jobs that I know that gave not necessarily hazard pay, but they may have increased the hourly rate for employees for a couple of months, or they were giving bonuses attached to the paychecks, just something to help compensate. And I don't think it really was, from the explanations that I've been given today and previously, it wasn't really for what they would consider hazard pay. It was just kind of to assist with the additional cost that's associated with going through this. Because even if we're not stocking up on tissues, we feel we have to because everybody else is buying it. So now you feel you got to run out and get it before it's not available anymore. So you haven't missed a beat. You've still been going to work, and because Walmart has still been open, all of them,
Yeah,
like, they've changed the hours, but so you guys have still been showing up to work every day.
right. Well, every day I'm scheduled, of course,
Yeah,
pretty much.
definitely. Oh wow. Now, has there been any steps that you guys have taken as far as on the employee end, just to kind of ensure because I know now you guys are requiring masks to be worn anytime that someone's in the store, that when they come into the store. Is that right?
That is correct. But also, before we punch in, they make us go through this little test thing. Basically, when you walk in, you gotta go to a little desk, and over there they'll ask you, do you have this? Do you have that? Have you been around anybody who has it? Have you been out of state? Blah blah blah. And are you feeling unwell? And then they take your temperature.
Oh, okay. And this is done at the beginning of every shift?
Correct.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's pretty good. I mean, that's more than what some jobs are doing. So at least they're enforcing it there on that end when it comes to the employees. Have you guys had any situations where customers are coming in? Because we do see a lot of people that are against the wearing the mask because they feel like we're infringing on their rights. Do you guys ever come across
Oh,
anyone that doesn't want to wear the mask?
we have definitely, we have several
Oh,
times. We have those guys like, well, I have a condition, and we have the guys like, I don't have a mask, I don't care, just call the cops if you want to. I'm like, wow,
are you serious?
yeah,
Oh my
seriously.
goodness. So do you guys ever, so any incidents that you guys have ever had, is it normally a calm, like, hey, I understand, I'll leave, or do you actually have people that's combative when it comes to wanting just to protect them and the employees?
Fortunately, I have not seen such a situation
Well, that's good.
where they've become violent. But other people have left. But I have been nice enough to sneak inside the store and get like a temporary mask for a customer if they really need to go in.
Okay. Yeah, because I was wondering that because you have I know that's where I pick up my extra ones. I try not to do it every time I'm in Walmart because then I'll probably be broke because I'm in Walmart a lot. But anytime that I'm there, I do try to get extras because I know you guys were having some there, like the accessory, like the jewelry department in one of the locations I go to. So anytime that I would see them, I would pick them up. So I was wondering if that was an option because I had a young lady tell me a couple of weeks ago that she was told she couldn't come in because her children didn't have on masks. Um, but they're like 8, 9, 10 years old. So I guess at that age they're required to wear it. But she was pretty heated. Even though she understands it, it was more frustration on her end because she forgot to get their to bring them out the house with a mask. So I was wondering how they actually handle that when a customer comes in. If the option, because I asked her, is the option to get a mask, like someone brings you one or you purchase it, like is that not an option? So that's good to know that as a courtesy employee, you do go that extra mile and help those guys out. Because nothing worse than having to go home and grab a mask and come back out
Oh yeah,
and
trust me,
come back
I
out.
know.
Yeah, that's not going to make for an ideal trip. That's not a
Right.
good outing, right?
And I'm pretty sure you've seen on the news. I'm pretty sure you've seen on the news where customers have hurt employees due to this ordeal.
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
No, I remember you. I think you posted something once about uh there was an incident with a did someone get stabbed or shot or
Yes.
something?
And it was in Michigan about a month ago. A convenience store clerk got stabbed solely because he asked the customer to put on a mask.
Oh my goodness.
The convenience store
Oh,
clerk survived. He survived, but about an hour later, the man was pulled over by a police officer, and he approached the police officer with a knife and a screwdriver. And the police officer told him to
oh,
stop, stop, stop. He kept coming at her. He kept coming at her, and he got too close, and she eventually shot him.
wow. So this was an actual you said convenience store. So yeah, so I've seen other stores and heard, stories and, unfortunately have been witness to people really cutting up when asked for a mask. And it's like they walk in with the intentions of, they know they don't have this mask on. So they immediately have, this look on their face like, I know I don't have a mask and I'm ready to go off. Because as soon as that cashier says something, or that store employee says something, they just blow up. So yeah, I have seen and heard. I haven't anything specifically with Walmart, but I have seen and heard because I'm just always astounded at the fact that this is how people are really reacting. Like this is how we're really taking to wearing a cloth over our face to protect ourselves and someone else. Like it's just insane to me. Now, are there, because I know something when I go to the Walmart here in North Charleston, there's always a young lady up front that's it looks like he's keeping a tally maybe of the amount of people that's coming in. So you
Correct.
guys are still doing that as well?
Yes, correct. And if someone walks in a mask, we have to. They say on the radio, "Spark in the building."
Really? Oh wow. Oh wow. So she's so just taking this young lady that I encounter when that person doesn't have a mask on. I see that you guys have the radios, but does she make an attempt to stop that person, or does she just let you guys know no spark in the building?
We just let them know, "Spark in the building." I mean, as you've seen on the news, I'm pretty sure you've seen a few news articles online saying that Walmart's not going to stop anyone from coming in with a mask because due to the safety of their
Oh,
employees.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, because that is definitely more important than anything there. Is making sure that these people get home to their families every night. Now, the one thing I do see also is the carts seem like they're cleaned every time that they're brought in. I do see someone's actually like spraying them down, I believe it is, when they're putting it in the back underneath the, you know what I'm talking about, the little
That is
corral
correct.
thing up
That
front
is
there.
correct. We spray them down with sanitizer when we can.
Awesome. Wow. That's good. That's good. Yeah. So it seems like you guys are actually taking the precautions. But let me ask you, how have you felt about still having to go to work in the middle of this whole thing? Has there been any reason for concerns? Has it made you feel like a bit of not necessarily anxiety, but like kind of nervous or a little bit concerned about working in the middle of this?
I mean, to be real with you, um, hmm, it does concern me because you have those inconsiderate people out there that feel that they don't need to wear a mask and it could spread and they don't care. And it's like, okay, but what if it hits one of your loved ones? Are you going to care then?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Wow. So there's uh my daughter and I were talking earlier, and we actually recorded a little bit for another episode in speaking about the essential workers. And I myself am considered to be an essential worker because, with the exception of the time that I actually had to take off to quarantine, I haven't missed a date. Like nothing really changed for me as far as work was concerned because I was still showing up. About 98% of the office went home, but I was still one of the employees, one of the two employees that was still showing up every day, with the exception of the supervisors. Um, I think reality kind of hit me about it. The only thing that changed, I wasn't able to go to the gym. That changed. Can't say I was too upset about that, but that was probably the only thing. I mean, I was getting up at 3:30 in the morning, so any reason I had not to get up at 3:30 in the morning and leave my house to go sweat, I was okay. But that was that was it was that one thing. And business was still business as usual. Yeah, I couldn't go to Walmart because now Walmart was opening, like they had 6 hours 6 to 7 for senior shopping, or Starbucks wasn't opening until such and such a time, or it was just like all these different things that were happening, but there was not a direct, I guess, impact that I felt. And then one day I had to go into a grocery store. I needed to get some groceries for the house, and I walked in, and it was enough to almost bring me to tears because it literally looked like we were like it looked like a struggle. It looked like something was going on. Now it looked like a pandemic. Now it looked like we were on the verge of something that how the hell are we going to get back from this? So there were aisles and aisles and aisles that were empty, or shelves just I've never seen shelves so depleted in a grocery store before. And then I
Oh,
get to the meat aisle.
have you seen hurricane? Have you been around during hurricane season? It'll happen.
This was worse than hurricane season to me. And I get because like even frozen stuff were like people were just stocking up on food. Like there was nothing. And I it just was it is as impactful as that moment was, it kind of was a reality check for me. And then it hit me. And and I mentioned this on a previous podcast, but it hit me that, I know a lot of truck drivers. And I know that the only way these shells are commonly refilled is these truck drivers. They have to bring the stuff here. So, then I start to realize how deep this actually went, that there's actually so many layers to this that we're not looking at on a daily basis, before we, when we're thinking about ourselves or our family, which is understandable. But, when we walk into the stores and we're upset and we're yelling at somebody because, the shelves are empty, or we can only buy one or two of something, we have to realize that those shelves are empty and these truck drivers aren't working. That means these people don't have work. That means they don't have a check, or they have a percentage of what they would normally make to take care of their families. So, it digs a little bit deeper the more that you look into it. So it's, so I'm always telling customers, and even on that day, I had to ask someone, like, please don't talk to her like that. Like, this kid looked like she was about 17, 18 years old, probably just filled out this application and they threw her into the lion's den because pandemic and we need the help. And this lady is just going off. How do you not know when the truck is coming? How do you not know what's on the truck? First of all, she's working at a freaking register. Like, how is she supposed to know this? Like, why is that her job?
Right.
But, you understand the level of frustration that everybody is going through. But this is the time when we have to pack a bit more patience when we're in the store. Especially when we're dealing with essential workers, because we, again, life doesn't change for us. So
No, it
we're
doesn't.
still having to deal with this and still going to work. And I will tell you this, as much as I love Walmart, yay, Walmart, the freaking arrows, I will not do. I will
No, I don't
not.
blame you. I don't blame you. I honestly do not blame you, because it's not going to help any. And people,
What is the point of that?
if I'm sorry, but if people aren't going to listen to the mask ordeal, what makes you think they're going to listen to arrows or the whole
Exactly.
or the whole 6 feet away thing?
I'm just like, what is the point of this? And it's like, okay, I guess I kind of get it. You want everybody moving in one direction because maybe it's a smooth, like, there's less, I guess in their mind is less possibility of contact or less than 6 feet of interaction. I don't freaking know, but I'm looking at this stuff and I actually had one person to say to me, "You're not supposed to come." It wasn't an employee, it was a customer, and I just looked at her as if she was insane because I will never. I don't care. I will never, as long as I'm able to walk there. If there's some barrier that's keeping me from coming down that side. But for me to look down and see that red square that says not to come, no, I'm not about to go down another aisle just to come back. Like, nah, that's not about to happen.
I do agree with you. And as for the whole barren aisle thing, right now the only barren aisles are the cleaning aisles, where they keep the Lysol.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it right now.
So do you guys have limits on them as well? Is it still like only limit 2 or something like that per customer?
Correct. We're limiting it to it.
Oh, wow. Wow. Now, you may not know this, but is it limited online as well?
I don't
like if I
don't know. I haven't really checked the online store.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check online because I keep meaning to just mainly because I try to keep extras on hand for other people that, because again, some people's lives have not stopped. And, with the hour change, with Walmart, a lot of people can't get to the store. A lot of people are working those hours
and,
so I try to get a few extras.
Right. And people have been doing the whole shop at Walmart, shop online thing as well, where they just bring it to your car. So that's been going up a lot lately. Yeah.
So do you do that as well?
I have not done that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen that has been a growing thing now. I think that's good, especially for a lot of those that are extremely panicky when it comes to having to interact with people with everything that's going on. Like some people really there is a video out, and I don't know how legit the video is because it seems so over the top, but this guy is like, I'm gonna have to send you this thing, Aaron, but this guy is like really, really
well, I really want to see that.
He's really, you want to see this. This guy is like really like trying to make these people stay 6 feet away from him. He doesn't even want to go to the counter and get his food. I have to send you this video. So people like him, they need to take advantage of these food delivery places. Because this poor guy just like the fact that he made it to that I think it was like a Subway or something, or Panera Bread, the fact that he actually even made it there amazed me. The way that he reacted, I have to send you this thing. It's freaking hilarious, and if I can, I'm going to post it on the on my website for you guys to be able to see this as well, because it's hilarious. Yeah, I'm like, what is this guy doing? But yeah, he legit did not want to move. He was making sure no one was coming near him. He was like stretching to get his bag from the counter. I was like, dude, stay home. There's DoorDash.
Like, oh, you want to know something interesting?
I do.
I recently heard that a woman was staying at home, right? And she was having food delivered to her and everything, and she still caught it.
Stop it.
Wow.
That's
what I heard.
Wow. Wow. Now I've been hearing, even myself, I've been under the weather. I do have, normally I'm a healthy person, but I had uh, nausea and a sore throat,
Mm.
was running a fever off and on. Um, every morning I would wake up and say, oh, if I'm worse or I'm not feeling any better, I'll go tomorrow. And then finally, after about 3, 4 days of that, I was like, COVID is running around here, so let me go and get checked. Even with those symptoms, I still tested negative. But because I had the symptoms, the doctor still quarantined me for 14 days because, ready for this, even if you test negative, you could still have it. You could still have it if you test negative. She said if your body has not generated enough antibodies when they go in your nose, which I have the video of that, and I am so reluctant to release it because it's not pleasant at all. But they
Well,
went into both nostrils. It was, I'm so jealous of all those other people that got it for like 10 seconds. Mine was like 30 seconds or something in each nostril, and it was, my eyes were watering by the time I was done. Maybe this guy just didn't like me. I don't know. But even she said maybe I didn't have enough antibodies in my, excuse me, in my system at the time to actually test positive for it. So because I had a number of the symptoms, they still had to quarantine me. So that's kind of, that's why that's another facet to it, because now you have people that have no symptoms and they have it, or you have people that have symptoms but can't test positive. It's like, who is safe? Who is safe nowadays? It's like I have a friend that just says it's just a matter of time before we all would have had it or test positive, because we could have had it and not even know.
right.
I
I
mean, that's
agree.
just the reality of it right now. Is now, do you feel that you personally have them being safe? I know I just saw you the other day. You had your mask on, you had your hand sanitizer, so you seem to be on top of this. So you're pretty confident in the steps that you're taking. Haven't had a need to take a test or felt anything under the weather. You've been taking care of yourself.
Correct. I've also been taking those multivitamins for men from GNC.
Okay, that's good, because I know they say it's important to make sure that you are supporting your immune system as well. So that's definitely good. I'm glad to see that you're doing that, especially in your line of work where I thought I came across a lot of people every day, but you definitely come across many more people than what I was seeing a
Oh,
week.
definitely.
Hey guys, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's actually one of the easiest ways to make a podcast. The best part about it, it's absolutely free. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
And you want to know something funny? I have
Yes.
hay fever during this spring and summer times, and I'll sneeze and people
Mhm.
will stare at me like, "Excuse me, I have allergies. Leave me alone."
Yes. The same here. That's my biggest thing. Like, my biggest thing are my allergies. Like, that's my thing. My allergies and my sinuses. And now it's like, don't like scratch that itch in your throat. Like they're they're ready to come at you like the mob. Like,
Right. You know, kind of
don't cough,
like kind of
nothing.
like burn the witch, burn the witch.
Yes, it's like she coughed. Get her. But it's like, my I did. I went to Florida, and I feel like there should have been like lightning or thunder that just played just now. Like, yes, I went to Florida. And my sister, she's the same way. She has really bad allergies, just like myself. So there's this road that like pretty much connects her subdivision and us going to Walmart. And it's like this particular part of the road, me and her we will both start coughing and our eyes dry out. We're just kind of
Oh
like
wow.
looking at each other like there's like we know it's allergies, but with everything going on, it's like, oh, do we want to go in here right now? Like, we don't know, they might burn us at the stake. Like, I would rather hear someone cough than see them do that stroke, like when they're trying to strangle that cough. Like, that's weird to me. Now, I have no freaking clue what's going on.
Oh, wow.
Like, now I'm ready to drive a stake through your heart because I'm not sure what's about to transpire. So I just go ahead and cough. Like, just cough, let it out. But I'm hoping that we see some sort of whatever the new normal is going to be, because even if it is the mask, or, because right now we are coming up on flu season.
Right.
And
it's going to be worse,
I know. Yeah, see, and that's why because I've heard people kind of make light of it, as far as, and to a degree I agree, that anything that's wrong with you now, they're going to say COVID. But I'm just wondering how this is being handled. And I can't even imagine the people, the powers that be that are in charge of this whole thing, how they're going to sort through this. Like, I have to assume that it's all going to be treated the same, because you still, like, people get the flu, they don't go to work, they don't be around their family, because we realize that it's contagious. You can pass this to someone.
Right.
So I have to assume that it's going to be handled the same way. But I just can't imagine the impact. Everyone has been pointing out the fact that more people get infected with or die from the flu than they have been with COVID when this whole thing started. So can you imagine at times two? Like, that's scary in itself. And not to mention the fact that we're sending children back to school.
Honestly, they don't need to send children back to school. They don't.
They really don't.
I mean, you heard what happened in Georgia. You heard what happened in Georgia, right?
Yes. What is that, like 90? Was it over 90,000 kids or 9,000 or something?
A whole second grade. A whole second grade.
Oh my goodness.
Every single kid in that second grade had to get quarantined, including the teachers.
Yeah, there was one county I know that there was 200, and I'm not sure where it was located. There was like 297 students, teachers, and staff members that tested positive. There was one state, I believe it was a state where there was like either over 9,000 or 90,000. I have to look back at it, where they had all these people in that school district that tested positive, or within that state. And I'm like, why are you sending kids back to school? These children lick each other. They take boogers out their nose and feed it to the other one. Why are they going to school? Like, and this could be 10th graders. This could truly be 10th graders that we're talking about right now. So it's like, I don't think it. I see a lot of parents are now, instead of the first day of school pictures, we're seeing the homeschool pictures. So I definitely applaud those parents that have taken that route to ensure the safety of their children. But I know it's not that easy for every parent. I know some parents are normally looking forward, in a sense, to their kid returning to school, because that's their babysitter. And for some kids, that's their outlet. Like, this is where I go so I can, maybe this is where I get breakfast and lunch. Or maybe this is where I go for, my confidant, or when I need to talk to someone. So there's it's a lot deeper than just, hey, we just don't want you to come back to school. We realize it's a lot more. Like, my kids graduated from Stall High, and I believe it was Stall High, where they actually installed a washer and a dryer, because there were children that weren't able to clean their clothes.
Oh, wow.
So, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of different things that these children do look forward to from school. But I think instead of using the resolve to be, let's just send you back into this possibly virus infected building, I think it just means there's more work for us to do as a village. There's more work that needs to be done, because the option can't be just to send them back because, hey, it's safer at school, because at the end of the day, it's really not. But I think it just kind of opens up, more doors of opportunities of things that we need to fix in our homes and within our community. But definitely sending these children back to school, that's kind of not the answer. Can we just get them some laptops, iPads, or something, and get some free Wi-Fi and do this over? Yeah, and I know that's not, always, because you got people working from home, and you can't help a first grader or second grader while they work. But, if that teacher's there and you could see that kid and get them some headphones, like, there has to be a resolve somewhere, because You see some of these people Facebook posts, some of them do not need to be teaching their children. Like, I'm sorry,
Oh no,
but
I
some
know a few.
people,
I do. Yes, I have, and I do know a few teachers. You know, so
yes, you do. Now, do you know, have you spoken with any of these teachers to know how they feel about going back to school?
a lot of them are kind of sketchy about it, to be honest with you, because some of those teachers I know are actually parents themselves.
Yes, yeah. Now, are they not requiring that those teachers be tested before returning to school?
I haven't spoken to them about that. I'm pretty sure they are testing them.
I would hope so, because that's just, whew, goodness, just the idea. I just couldn't even imagine, just period, going back. And I mean, these kids haven't seen each other in months, literally in months, and they're going to want to hug and hold hands and share lunch and all this stuff. And it's like, taste my drink, or, taste my booger. It's like, this
Right.
is what these
It's
kids
like
do.
these
So
I mean, kids don't know what social distancing is.
exactly. Yeah, I went to Florida, and my niece, one of my grandnieces, she is 5 years old. She wears a little mask, and I looked down at her and I said, "McKaylin, do you know why you have on a mask?" And she says, "No, I just know I have to wear it." So not even though she has enough common sense to know, okay, I was told to wear this mask, I'm going to wear it. She's still 5, so at some point throughout the day, that mask is going to come off. She's going to play with it. She's going to do something. She's still a 5-year-old kid. I'm 45. I got 40 years on this kid, and I'm at work, and there's so many times I have to go, oh shit, and put my mask back on because I forget. I have my moments. Like, it happens, so we can't really expect it out of these kids. And you've seen so many jokes and lightheartedness about the teachers can't control bullying, or they can't control lice. Why are you sending them back to school with a deadly virus? But that's the truth. I think some of these kids are so young that they haven't either shown signs or been tested for, like pre-existing conditions. We really don't know what we're sending our kids into, and we don't know what condition they're in. And, some people make it and some people don't. And that's too big of a gamble for me to play with my children. If I knew Susie was going to come home and probably have a runny nose for a few days, maybe that's something I could risk, because that's a regular everyday at school risk there. But to know that Susie could come home and have this thing and may not make it, I can't take that risk. And
I
I
hear
have to
you.
applaud any parent that goes through that. I couldn't do it.
And I look at it this way: it's common sense. If you're not feeling well, stay home.
But see, that's the thing too, because I say that too. But what about those that are positive, but they feel well? See, it's just, that's what we were saying earlier. It's just too
Right.
many pieces to it. Because what if everybody feels great, so everybody goes to school, but you're supposed to be wearing your mask? But we know
Right.
everybody's not going to, because that's what people do. But we just have to stick together, and we have to make sure that, from the corporations down to people like you and I, that we are keeping ourselves as well as our neighbors and our co-workers safe, because that's truly the only thing that's going to help to diminish these numbers that we've been putting up. I will say one thing, even though that I feel that there are things that we could have done a lot better. I try to stay out of politics, period,
Me
because it
too.
gets ugly,
Right.
just like
Because
religion and sports.
yeah,
so, so politics, religion, and sports are 3 things that you will never ever hear discussed in great detail on this podcast, because
right.
I
I agree
try
with you.
to um um everything is not, a laughing matter and jokes, but definitely those are 3 things I try to avoid. So I'm really not sure of why the choices are made, but as a resident of South Carolina, I really wish that there was a lot more. I know that we're a big tourist state. Tourism is really huge for us, especially here in Charleston, and I know that is a big dollar maker for us. So I can only assume that's why places like Myrtle Beach and all that stuff did not have as many restrictions as what I think they could have, because we did not want to stop that almighty dollar. We did not want to
That's
stop that
all it's
money from
about.
coming
That's
in.
what all this is about, the
Yeah.
money.
Yep,
But
pretty
I'm
much.
sorry,
I
but
really
no amount of money is gonna force me to do something that's going to get me sick and die.
Exactly. Because I mean, come on, let's be real. They're like, oh well, no, don't worry. The people that are coming in, we're making them quarantine for 2 weeks. So you really want us to believe
Right, exactly.
that that these people are coming here for vacation and they're going to spend 2 weeks inside the hotel? Are they villa?
Exactly.
Are they be like, come on, like that's not going to happen. We all know this is not going to happen. Like,
Right.
you're saying it for those that want to believe everything that they read and see on TV, but we all know no one's going to go on vacation and I'm going to sit in for 2 weeks just in case. Like, that's not going to happen because what's
Nope.
the point? Doesn't
Nope.
even make any sense.
Yeah, good luck with that.
But I know, right? And who's policing that? Who's making sure? Who's
Nobody.
making sure that that just came from from New York is actually sitting at home in quarantine? Like, nobody's watching that. So it's like, come on, we know what it's about. It's just like us getting up every morning when we're tired, our body hurts, or we're sick, and we still go. Why? Because we need the money. So we get it, but it's like you cannot toy with people's lives. And I've seen some of the some comments on Facebook of, oh, we gotta die one day, but damn it, if you can
Not
help me
today.
not to go right now. It's like, exactly. If we could just keep pushing me on for another 45 years, like, I would be happy with that. Like, I will be good. But it's, some people just don't get it. Some people don't believe in it. Some people feel it's a hoax. It's just, it's so much. It is so much. You can truly see where the hurdles and the road of us getting back to some sense of normalcy
Well, we did.
is the hold up.
Well, we did have a curfew in effect for a while, but then they removed it.
Then they removed it. Um,
It's
then we had the
basically you're giving the screaming toddler what he wants when you do
yeah,
that.
yeah. Yeah. And I understand they said, like, there's only about so much they can do. You can't make somebody stay in their house. You can't do this. You can't. And I understand that being the law. I get it. But you have to understand that people are dying. And it's not one or two people here, not even so much that that's okay, but because I believe that anything that you can do to protect somebody, it's like that. Anyone gets into my car, or if I get into somebody else's, because I don't give a damn, your car is not moving until you put on your seatbelt. That's
Thank
my
you.
little piece of yeah, like, that's just me. So I don't see it any different when it comes to the mask. Like, anything that I can do to make an attempt to save your life, like when I know I'm having a bad day, I'm probably not going to go out in public because I'm having a bad day and I don't want to ruin your day and I don't want to ruin my day. So I'm going to stay home. We get into a grocery store or a restaurant and I'm going to put on my mask. We get into a car, I'm going to put on my seatbelt. I'm going to encourage you to do the same. My
Correct.
ex-husband is a huge guy and he hates wearing his seatbelt. But guess what he does anytime that we're in the car together? He puts that damn seatbelt on because he would rather have that seatbelt on than hear my mouth. Because those are your options. Because this car is
Well,
not
either
going to
that.
move.
Well, either that, or he can do a Superman through the windshield and go and kiss the pavement.
Exactly. And you're a big guy, so this is going to be a very this is going to be a heavy fall. But it's like I don't get it. And then he got into a habit of buckling the seatbelt, like keeping it buckled, so that way the ding would not catch. It's not going off, so
Right.
it doesn't
Right.
catch my attention. And then I start to realize, like, dude, I see what you're doing. Like, it's for your safety. And it's no different than us encouraging people to go see a doctor when they're sick, or to lock their door at night when they're before they go to bed. It's no different. If you will take those steps to care for your friends, your family, your neighbors, put on the fucking mask. It's a fucking mask.
Exactly.
And if somebody else act as if they cannot breathe for the 30 minutes that they're inside Walmart
Um,
or food, like,
Let me tell you
like,
something
come
about that
on.
right now. I have some friends that work in hospitals, and do you see the suits of armor they got to put on compared to the one little mask that these people are forced to put on?
Yes, yes, yes. And I don't get how. And I have people that have that work in welding or painting, jobs that require those masks to be on, or some sort of ventilation of some sort when they're working. And you're working 10, 12 hours a day. And I'm not saying, like, everybody's not the same. I get it. So but I think a lot of it is paranoia. I think a lot of it is you have read all of this stuff. You see where Barbara can't breathe, so sure as hell you can't breathe either. And I'm not saying that there's not, but there's so many conspiracy theories, and there's so many Facebook doctors and scientists that you just don't know what's true nowadays versus what's just seeping from underneath the tinfoil hat.
Right.
Like, and I hate to say that, but it's like, I don't know how many times a day that I read about somebody that says, oh, I had to go see my doctor because I had to wear my mask for 2 hours today, and now my breathing's off. And I just think that's weird as hell. Because when I was younger, you can tell me, Aaron, that I could not breathe underneath the blanket. I thought because my head was covered, the air, oxygen, and I was a kid, and I would always fuss and fight it. You couldn't put this thing on me. And my aunt ruled with an iron fist, I'll tell you that. And quickly I learned that I could breathe underneath this blanket. But I knew at that time, when I was fighting her on this, I was trying to, because I've always been 30 since I was like a freaking kid. So I was trying to make my case, and and I cannot breathe, and sometimes I can't see. So I'm like making this like really good, and I told her one time I even stopped breathing because I had to say something outlandish that I thought was going to be scary to her because I needed to make a valid point. I was trying to sell my case. So when I see these posts on Facebook, it makes me think the same thing. Like, you don't like doing it, or either you're kind of paranoid about it. And so now you're telling us you've been to the doctor for it because you're trying to sell your case. I call it padding a lie. You just really want to make it sound really good, so we'll believe it. But it's like, I still don't believe you can't breathe behind this cloth. Let's be real. Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can't, but there's so many things, so many times that you've had that covered in so many different ways. Like, what happens when you go to the dentist and they put that little thing?
Exactly. And it's like you said, they made, it's like you said, you put on a seatbelt, to keep yourself safe. So how is putting on a mask infringing on your rights?
Exactly. Well, I've heard people say too, oh, if I want to die, I'll die. So they don't want to wear a seatbelt. Then they started putting the $25, was it $25 if you're caught not wearing a seatbelt?
I'm not sure what the fine is.
My ex-husband has said before, oh, I don't like the way this feels on my neck. Dude, you don't like the way that feels on your neck. Then imagine how it feels when you hit this concrete with your car going 60 miles per hour. Like, imagine how that's going to feel. You don't like this on your neck. And I tell people that with the mask, like, you're complaining about not being able to breathe with this mask.
And you know what?
Check out a ventilator.
And you know what I say to that? And I say this: I'll just be standing from the sideline watching as the police pick you up with a spatula.
Exactly. This is pretty much how this is going to end. Like, we've got to take care of ourselves, and we've got to take care of each other. And, there are things that you believe in, I believe in, the people that's listening believe in. But all that really matters at the end of the day are the facts. And right now, we're not scientists. We don't work for the CDC. We really are just getting our information from them. We have to go by what it is that they're telling us. And if they're saying that today we have to wear this mask, then damn it, wear the fucking mask.
Well, really I think some of these masks are nice looking. Some of these masks are really cool looking.
They are.
There was one guy. He walked into Walgreens, right? And he was wearing a full plague doctor outfit. Yeah.
Wow. See, I can't say that I like it, but in my line of work,
but no, he scared people, so he was told to leave.
Well, I've seen people go too far with it because there was a guy with a Batman costume. Like, dude, you really put this on? But I mean, when you look at the face protection that he has, it's like, it's actually pretty good. But it's like, I do see people that go too freaking far with it. But I mean, I appreciate it. The gloves and the the barriers now that are set up because I am that person. Like, don't touch me, I won't touch you. Like, now that I can actually look a customer in the eye and don't feel funny that I have on a mask, like, because I've been wanting to do this with you my entire life, because sometimes spit come out of your mouth, and if it touches me, I'm going to have a problem. But but I just think we have to be serious, because it's people's lives at stake. It's truly people's lives, and it doesn't matter if it's the younger generation or the older generation or people with pre-existing conditions. The fact is, this is what they're telling us now.
Right. We need to be more considerate of other people.
Yeah, it's like we've got.
Then I heard something really funny. I saw this online about these Karens. I'm pretty sure you've heard the whole Karen ordeal, right?
Oh goodness, yes, I have.
And well, this Karen was giving out these pamphlets about the Free Air Society or something like that. It was some article. Yeah, it was some article on line. I think it's on my Facebook somewhere. You have to go down my timeline to see it. But yeah, the Free Air Society. I'm like, okay.
Are you serious? Wow. And I apologize. I dropped something.
No, here it is. A woman claiming to be from the Freedom to Breathe Air Agency filmed telling him and a grocery employee that she's infringing on her rights.
Wow. So why even come into the store? I think these are people that are bored and have absolutely nothing else to do with their fucking time. So let me go to the store and try to make myself seem like somebody, because if you know that this is around you from sun up to sun fucking down, that this is something that needs to happen, keep your fall wearing hat. Stay the fuck home. Stay home. If you feel that way, stay home. Order in. Like, that's all you have to do.
There's Grubhub, DoorDash, Walmart, Stop. Shoot, you don't need to come in the store if you're gonna be a little crybaby about it.
Ask somebody to pick you something up. You have so many freaking options other than to go to a freaking store. If you're that passionate about it and you feel that real about it, then you need to contact your local state officials, and you need to get with them, because the fucking cashier at Food Line has absolutely nothing to do with this. She's actually probably looking at you and not understanding any of the fucking words that are coming out of your mouth, because she did not sign up for this. She came to work to check you out.
Speaking of which, there's actually a mask that says "Okay, Karen" on it. I gotta buy that one.
See, I don't even give them the pleasure of calling them Karen. I call them exactly what the hell they are. They're either I'm not going to say, well, no, fuck it. They're either some ignorant people or they're just racist. And if you're racist, I'm going to call you that, because you need to hear that.
Well, that's basically what Karen is.
That's really what it is. But I've never had I've never actually seen or heard of, I've seen it on Facebook, but not in a sense where I've seen a white woman actually say, "Oh my God, don't you dare call me a Karen." So I don't know how serious they are even taking that, but I've seen like reposts, and when you see those things, you don't really know where they're coming from.
I know a Karen that works at the bank near my house, and I had to actually explain the whole Karen ordeal to her, and she was like, "Why does it gotta be Karen for? Why can't it be Lisa or Jessica or?" I'm like, I don't know, ma'am. I'm sorry, I don't know. Well, then why don't you?
We don't know.
You can tell everyone that you met the nicest Karen ever. Okay, I will. Don't worry.
You're like, yeah, sure. I will make sure I do that, Karen.
And there are women who are really named Karen that are like, don't worry, not all of us Karens are bad.
See, but I've just not heard any woman that says, "Don't call me Karen." Like they've been saying, like, "Oh, they're feeling like this is the equivalent to being called a nigger."
I've heard that
and
one.
I'm like,
I've heard that one. It's like,
no,
it's
you
not.
will sit your ass down somewhere with that. Like, there's no way that the equivalent of somebody calling you.
Are your feelings that hurt when someone calls you a Karen? Shoot. Seriously?
Exactly. Like, but I've seen these things, but I don't really think that they're actually coming from legit accounts, because again, I've never actually known a white woman that said, "Oh my God, you guys better stop calling us Karens." Like, I've seen them say things like, "Oh, well, I'm not a Karen," but I have to assume that they're just following the trend of what's being said. But it's, excuse me. it's really, I mean, it's a freaking name. It's a name. Like, how are you? But they are offended by things that we probably necessarily wouldn't be offended by, and one of those things that I've never really understood, and I'm actually trying to get some Caucasian females together so I can do a podcast episode because I truly want to know what's so offensive about the word cunt. I don't know why that word is so offensive to them. I don't
I never heard
understand
of that
it,
one.
but yeah, they are extremely offended by the word cunt. And I've seen videos of women that blow up if you call them a cunt. Like, that is like the most disrespectful thing that you can say to a white woman. Well, I guess now Karen may be the most disrespectful
It used to
thing
be
that you
called
can say
Becky.
to a white woman.
Come on now.
So I am very curious. So if there's any Caucasian females, any white women out there that are listening, please let me know. I would love to talk with you one day about this word. Like, I have not done any research. I don't know where it derived from, so I don't know if there's some history with it. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't see why that's a big deal. A lot of places that I worked when I was younger, and this is how I actually found out, because those were fighting words. There was a job, there was a company I was on, and these two young ladies got into it, and they both were white, and it was the most hilarious thing I'd ever seen. But I'm in the middle of it, like, trying to, because that's just me, I'm going to stop you from fighting. And then this one girl says, you fucking cunt. And that was it. Like, she came storming down the hall at this chick. So I just moved out the way at this point, because I'm like, obviously, this is what gets them going. And when we were in the office, she said, you can ask Charlese, because she called me a cunt. And when she said it, like, the manager's face was just like, oh, like, it's a thing. It's a thing. So I'm curious. I really want to know, because I've never asked. I've always kind of forget about it until, like, conversation comes up, and it's like, oh yeah, she did charge that girl that day that called her a cunt. She did. Like, so why is this? I don't get it. I don't know. I thought
I've heard
females were.
I've heard another female say that's the worst thing you can call a female. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, but why? Like, what is that? I mean, I don't. I have absolutely no clue. But even when I looked it up once, it just basically says an offensive name for a female. So why the hell is it? I'm not offended. You can call me a cunt all day long. Like, maybe I'm a cunt. I don't know.
I guess calling a woman a bitch isn't offensive anymore then?
Apparently not. So maybe bitch is okay. Maybe we. Well, you know me. I call everybody bitches and niggas, niggas and bitches. Like, that's just
right.
That's just me. But I maybe I should change over to cunt now. See how much dust I can kick up with this one, because I just don't get it. I mean, I wouldn't do it to them because it's offensive to them. But then again, I might do it because it's offensive. But if I know that something bothers you, like, I don't call everybody bitch, and not everybody is comfortable with, me saying nigga. There's some people, oh, can you please not say that around me? Of course, if that's what you're comfortable with, so I wouldn't say it. I just don't get it. I just don't get the cunt thing. So if you're listening, Lisa, Debbie, whatever other stereotypical name that I'm about to throw out, if you're listening, hit me up. Let me know, why is this offensive? Because I would really like to know.
I don't know how it's offensive either.
I would really like to know where the hell this came from. And I would be more than happy to share with you guys, because I know I'm not the only person that's wondering this. I can't be. I refuse to believe it. But I want to thank you, Aaron, for joining us this evening.
That's all good.
We are definitely also going to have you back, because you have a passion, and you've gotten me started and kind of hooked on a few video games. And anyone that knows me know I can't even make it past the first board of Pac-Man. And
wow.
I
you definitely did catch up, sweetie.
So I need help. I need help.
Hey, you got through Simulacra, so that's a start.
Yes, I got through that. Now, see, those I think I can do. So we're definitely going to have you back, because I need to I'm on this new path of life, and one of those things I would actually like to find. So I'm not a Fortnite person because I'm just not a
I can't
video
get
game
afford it either.
person.
Don't feel bad. I can't get none either.
Okay, then I'm good. But we definitely are going to have you back so we can talk about those the new video games that are out that most people probably would not refer to as video games, because there really is like a lot of thinking and like analytical thinking and stuff that goes into it. And it really intrigued me. It is something that, you know, I definitely look forward to when I
Well, also,
have the free time
it also
to
depends on what kind of
actually.
games you're into.
Yeah, yeah. So we're definitely going to make some time to get you back, and we'll talk about that. And hopefully at that time we'll have the YouTube channel set up so that way you can actually give us some demonstrations so we can actually see what's going to happen there.
Right. I need to
But
buy a
I
hard
want to
drive so I
thank.
can put some more. I need to buy a hard drive so I can put some more games on this computer. But yeah.
Oh, we got you. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Mm.
But we have been speaking with Aaron, and he's an essential worker for Walmart. You say your position is a courtesy employee,
Cool.
so he's that gentleman that makes things happen at Walmart, and we want to keep Aaron and his family and his friends safe. So if you guys can please make sure that you're wearing your mask when you go
And if
into the
not, stay
store.
home.
Exactly, or just stay the hell home. And as Aaron has mentioned before, they're taking steps on their end to make sure that you're safe. Don't go there and fuck it up. Don't
Thank
fuck it
you.
up.
And if you do
Now,
wear a mask, if you have a disposable mask, please throw it away. Don't leave it all out in a out. Just throw it away,
don't
please.
leave
Don't.
it in the cart, right? I got a
Right.
cart. Was about to grab a cart anywhere one morning, and it had no, it didn't have the mask. It had the gloves too, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of like finding a heroin needle right here." Like, yay,
Right.
me! But so yeah, so there's so many steps, and we're definitely going to get the website updated with some of those steps that you guys are able to take. Some of the precautions that you can take when you're in the store. And I think we're all in agreement that Walmart, we are not about to follow those arrows, so you can lift those up. But
Right.
anything besides that, we're all there for you, Walmart. But again, this is Charlese with Charlese Presents, and we're going to thank Aaron, and we look forward to seeing you guys again. Have a great night.
Have a good night, y'all.